What the deal? This your man King Louis Allah coming to you on this understanding day of August. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths, peace to all the righteous families on the planet Earth, and peace to those that really strive to be about peace. This quick bill gonna be about peace. Nigga asked me to, break down peace for him as to I understand it, right? Well, in the nation gods of earth, we study the science of language, of words and language. That's the breaking down and spelling and meaning and different meanings of words that sound the same and are spelled similar, right? Like, for example, father meaning as a man that raises children, or father to meaning like I threw the ball farther than the other man, right? And so those two words, I think father is F-A-R-T-E-T-H-E-R, and father is F-A-R-T-H-E. I think they spelled the same, father and father, right? And so, we strive to build on the meaning of these things, of these words. And, we also come up with acronyms. Like, if you check that video on my YouTube, King Lou TV on YouTube, it's a video where I break down GAIN and the acronym of GAIN, which is guidance, attention, motivation, and education. GAME, guidance, attention, motivation, and education. Right? And so today I'm gonna talk about peace real quick. I hope it's quick. I might ramble on, I don't know, but peace, as one of the acronyms in the nation gods of earth, which I like, which I embrace, we take it to mean proper education always correct errors. PEACE, proper education always corrects errors, right? So, I'm pro-education, so, I like that definition of peace, that acronym for peace. So, sometimes, my haters are inspiration for these videos that I do. So, like I had a hater, I got haters now that's trying to tell me peace, right? And, some things, I'm still working on myself, but, I'm doing away with that programming of pray for your enemies and forgive but don't forget. Those things are Christian principles that, I'm glad to, be done with. They don't seem to work. They are hard to apply in real life situations, right? Pray for your enemies, things of that nature. I think it's about having a relationship with knowledge. That's what we strive to do. So, like I had some haters reach out to me to want to tell me peace. Well, if I accept peace, when I deal with anybody, white or black, any ethnic group, I come to subscribe to, buy into, believe in the principle and philosophy of Dr. Martin Luther King, where he says, judge judge each person by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin, right? What do you say? Judge, or treat people. Well, I can't, but it's one of the greatest speeches. Judge or treat people by the color of their by the character of their content, not by the color of their skin. So what that's saying is you should treat people how they treat you, and you should treat people by how they treat other people, right? So back in his time, if some good white men come along, or good white people come along and want to invest in his movement, or counsel with him, or have discussion with him about what's going on over fighting with him, then he would treat them people, with more respect, right? So you should treat people by who they show you they are, right? Not by the color of their skin. So that's with anybody, you should treat people based on who they show you they are, right? And so I got some haters saying peace to me, right? And so I learned to judge, discern, listen to what's being said and who is saying it, right? To determine if it's valid, if it's true, if it applies to what's going on, right? If it fits the situation. I got to see who it's coming from, what happened, to know what they saying is real, And so I had some haters saying peace to me lately. And, they wanted, how I feel about that. I mean, no. It ain't no peace. It ain't never gonna be peace. It ain't never gonna be peace, man, based on how I'm taking their peace, right? Nation gods of earths. From day one, I was told peace is 2 closed fingers, right? And so I later come to find, 2 closed fingers means oneness. So if I'm like peace, this means that I'm really in peace with you, in a peaceful union with you. This is together, right? I mean, this is not together. This, people say peace, but this is not together. This means peace because, you got two together, right? Versus apart, right? So peace is peace to you and yours. Go in peace. I got you. It's no problem, no beef. It's on my Instagram too. I put, it's somebody say this is a sign of victory after war, right? Where somebody has, dominated somebody, beat somebody in war. But this is real peace, togetherness, oneness is peace. This is the nation of God of the earth because we supposed to be like-minded, right? So peace. So, this is how I take peace. So I got some haters saying peace. But, I searched their heart, how they trying to get at me with peace. And, it sound and smell like BS. So, I don't accept their peace. They done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 things, 6 violations to me, starting in 94 to, it went from 94 to 2006, maybe 27. They was been violating me, not other, but me, like 6 or 7 major law offenses, a lot of jail time violations. And so, they say peace. But, if you take our history as children, as little boys playing together and taking trips, with their parents, and me trying to build with them, with no ego involved, I can't accept their peace because I never violated them. And I try to be the most truthful, honest person because lies can be uncovered. You can show and prove these things. You can show and prove what somebody lying. So I'm not gonna come on here and lie to you about I'm so righteous. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I never done anything to people who I thought was my friends that I know from the actual sandbox. You see, the actual sandbox, the actual, sandbox. And so, they violated, I started from 94 to 26, 27, 28. They done some things that's really unforgivable, right? And so if they're unforgivable, they are unforgettable, right? So, them is pieces like it's almost vanity. I think it's their slick way of talking shit and still trying to rub it in out of pure jealousy, So I don't accept a peace. I don't accept peace. I mean, the first violation was so major that how can you how can you do it was nothing else they could do to top the first violation. The police lady Mandeville that I put on the last video said she told me in the street, she said be careful, Mr. Ragland, they don't have nothing else to do, they done it all, so be careful, so what she's saying is they like stole my identity, broke my house, done some things, and so they ain't had nothing else to do but to kill me, right? That's what she, that's her warning. She a seasoned veteran police officer, and she done seen it all, right? And so, yeah, man. So the first violation was so damn foul. When it's like I say, the dogs just out the blue. I got a bad batch of pit bulls that turned on me. They was beaten as pups or something, just for no reason, out of just pure jealousy. And dogs do get jealous, for real. And so yeah, so I can't, I cannot accept a peace, and they so down. I said, well, it's about compensation, right? To me, peace is money, right? If you want peace, drop a bag off, leave an envelope, return some shit, right? They ain't about that. And so, your word don't mean nothing. And so I give them scenarios. If you did hit the lottery, which I doubt they played, the Powerball, the Mega Millions. If you did win millions of dollars, and you come drop a bag off and say, "Dog, peace for real," you know what I'm saying? That'll be peace. But I'm still in a place, you the same person, so I really wouldn't want nothing to do with you. Why? So, the bag will be appreciated. That's peace, right? I can repair some things, heal, you know what I'm saying? From the treachery, the betrayal. It's true, I experienced these things, but I'm not going to let them see me sweat or feel my displeasure, my disappointment, and them being the ones to do what they did. I mean, my father say, man, just let him hit you. Take the hit, feel that. Right? He told me that. I say, no, I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing. I'm not gonna take the hits. He say, let him hit you. Just let him hit you. Take them. I don't want to take that. Why? So I'm looking at him funny. Why I gotta take that? I ain't done nothing to him, but really tried to help one of the motherfuckers come up. You see? So, they wrong, man. And so I can't accept their peace just on their word out in the street. That's a setup to me. You don't mean peace. If you mean peace, like you broke in or come to my house, you could come and drop some shit off and go about your business. So I don't accept peace. It was too many things. Now it's 2020 and you didn't violated me 7, 8, 9, 10 times and now it's peace. And so I told him this long time ago, if I had beef with you, nigga, I wouldn't have been, fucking with you. I'm running around with you trying to build on some cool shit and you secretly got beef. You smile in my face and really stab me in the back. For what? Jealousy? That's so damn petty, man. That's ridiculous. I ain't got the time, man. These niggas, just see the world different. You understand? So, and like I was, so I put that, my sign video up yesterday and how, certain people and and their behaviors trigger him, right? That he just ain't feeling them. I feel the same way. Haters that violated me, talking about peace, trigger all this shit to come out. You see that, they want to know who I am, what I'm doing. What the fuck for? I don't fuck with you. Want to think they got my back. Why would I want you at my back? Why you feel I need you at my back? To watch yourself? I've been in the streets a long time, man. I don't live, whereas, I need my back watched, right? So I don't need nobody like them to. So now they say we gonna watch it. I don't need nobody like that to watch my back, man. I don't need my back watch against. With y'all gonna put a mirror up and watch yourself. You're gonna shoot yourself. So but yeah, man. So I don't accept their peace, man. But I'm still the same cool dude. I really strive for peace. I just can't have peace with them, with them certain people. Anybody that, want to rob me, that don't work themselves and that I've tried to help, on all kind of levels, just supporting their business. No way we gonna ever have peace, Never gonna have peace. So, man, I think that's it. What I want to talk about, man, is peace to those that really practice peace. Death to all haters. I don't know what you want from me, man. I have no reason to even get peace with you. Your word don't mean nothing. These are kind of people. If I say peace, they would expect, they would want to like rekindle the kind of friend I was. But, they was never really friends if they could bring themselves to do that for no reason. You see, I don't have a problem being real. I mean, my parents, their parents could testify how long, I known all these dudes. Now they talking about peace. Peace, I mean, your parents ain't even about peace. If your parents about peace, they would have, dropped the bag off an envelope, told tried to get you arrested, return some of my shit. If your parents was about peace, they would try to, make me whole again, compensate me for my losses. You see? So their parents don't give a shit. So, man, that ain't no peace. And all the vibes and energy you give me is negative and make me, want to go get a gun somewhere. So, man, I don't know what you thinking, and it was really real. We didn't do it, but it's all lies. You would pull up. Like, dog, you would call, you would try. So, man, I ain't, it's all lies. I know I'm 100% right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. I don't blame people or want you to take the blame for something you didn't do. I'm not playing that game. I would really want to know who violated me. And if you didn't do it and you was my man like that, you'd have been trying to find who violated me like that in all them situations. So it's okay. You ain't my man. It's all right. I ain't mad at you. We ain't gonna have peace. I understand you. You scared. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing about your feelings, your emotions. I don't give a care, right? So, but it ain't gonna be no peace though. No peace. Not with y'all. Because y'all think it's all good to breathe again, and it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to work for the man, or work period, to take care of other grown men that choose, make a conscious decision not to get up and go out and try to get no bread. Literally. No bread as in money, and no bread from the stove. They can go in their pocket and buy. So, y'all got the game fucked up, man. Lewis don't take care of grown men. Not for nothing. So, you can save all that peace talk. Return some of my shit. So, that's it. I'm out. Peace.